Welcome to Amplehunting on BJ Holdsworth. Here's a selection of hunts from our 2016 red stag hunting season. We started off with a couple of bow hunters. The day before these guys arrived, we'd had a little bit of rain, so we decided to treat them in the initiation process to a little bit of spot and stalk mud hunting. Check this out. Got that one. All figure skating antics aside, with Brandon, who was hunting first, we got onto a really nice red stag. Unfortunately, with fickle winds, we got busted. Brandon's next spot and stalk opportunity was with another really nice red stag. Again, the distance was around about 40 yards. The next decision made with Brandon was to go and get into one of our ground blinds. We knew deer were going past, they were travelling past our ground blinds, they are well placed all over our property. Well, Brandon's shot was perfect, his stag was down in seconds, and what an absolute monster.
Amplehunting, they'll get you close, 20 yards broadside. BJ couldn't be a nicer guy, especially after I killed this stag.
Our next featured hunter was Brad from Minnesota. Now Brad had indicated a booking that he was after a stag with special qualities. He was after a stag that was big. We had perfect weather and soon found animals. We decided to take a closer look and see what we could stalk up among the adult poplars. We had seen some few animals look like that were heading for cover, and amongst them was an absolute monster. We would have to try sneak a bullet through the opening in the trees. This stag just would not give us a chance. We decided to move up and hopefully get another crack before he'd go to bed for the day. What we decided to do then was, due to the conditions and mainly a fickle wind that was sort of moving around with thermals, it would be a safer bet to cut around the top and give us a little bit of distance. Our decision to get up higher where the wind would be safe would hopefully pay off. Brad wasted no time in getting set up, right above the tree where the stag had last been seen. Finally, after a bit of a wait, the stag appeared.
Yes. Well worth the wait. That is a dream come true, boys. Oh, very nice.
Look at the size of the stag. Look at the length of these tines. Boy, was Brad happy.
What a rush. What a rush. Can't beat that.
How do you feel right now?
Oh, I can't be happier. What a great, great hunt. 34 pointer. This is a bird bass. Well, I tell you what, it's a hunt you're never gonna forget. Anyone that has a red stag on their bucket list to get done, come to New Zealand. BJ will get it done at Ample. Tell you what, I can't even really talk yet. My heart's pounding so fast, but it's unreal. It's a great, great hunt.
Well, Dennis and Tyler were father and son from North Dakota. We treated these guys to what was the peak rut. Just have a listen to this on the morning of day 3. We snuck on in because we had heard a few stags. There must have been something good in there, or so we thought. Unfortunately, we didn't see anything there of any real substance. But while sitting there, Glassing away, I noticed a stag at 300 yards. A closer inspection with the telescope proved this stag was an absolute monster. So all we'd have to do is put in a seek and try and get a little bit closer. Unfortunately, while heading in, we bumped a young stag. Now this stag took off and jumped over the fence above us. We think this is what alerted the stag that we were hunting that something wasn't quite right, because when we snuck up on him, he was looking in our general direction. Now we had to be really careful here, because already he was suspicious. Tyler did not want to take that shot with that stick in the road. Unfortunately, it became too much for the stag. He disappeared behind the tree, went away from us, jumped the fence, not to be seen again. Shot.
Yep, I see his antlers.
Work. Good work. Well, this is Father Dennis's hunt. Now, we climbed up to the top where we'd heard a few roars from a distance. We got in relatively close. We didn't exactly know where he was, but then we heard him roar. Got him.
He's down. He's down.
Oh, let's get down there and have a look at him, shall we?
Yeah. I said we really appreciate being able to customize a hunt for us and us being the only ones here. It's been a great experience.
Irwin, his son Nicholas and friend Rudolph arrived from Austria. They were our second group of hunters for the Roar 2016. Irwin has hunted with us before. He was here 2 years ago with some friends and he managed to take this magnificent animal.
It's sensational. It's sensational. Many things, PG, and many things Amplehunting. Wonderful trophy, wonderful experience.
Irwin's well-placed neck shot at just over 120 yards was perfect. He flattened the animal, switched his lights out in an instant, and was rewarded with an absolutely magnificent red stag.
I'm for 100% lucky and happy. So the only words I can tell, Amplehunting, what else?
This is Rudolph's hunt. This is the feature hunt of this video. That's on top. Take him on his top, mate. Reload, reload. No. When an animal of that size is right there, and he's doing what he did to us, he was roaring, he was chasing hinds, we couldn't see him because of the fog. We were actually expecting him to come out at the bottom of that bush. He didn't. He came out on top. He could have gone anywhere. He could have hopped over the fence and disappeared into the next valley. It was a 300-yard shot. There was an immense amount of pressure, and I think Rudolph had some stag fever going on. I asked Rudolph at the end of his hunt if he thinks he had a bit of stag fever, and this was his reply.
Yeah, maybe not fever, maybe fever because of hiking, but I would need more coolness. Yeah, it's very important to be very cool, to be relaxed. That's very, very important, I think.
So as a guide and outfitter, you just move on. You forget about it. There's no point dwelling on it. You just go find another stag. You've got to do your job. Everyone was gutted, but no one was more gutted than Rudolph himself. The next morning we set off. We went out. We decided to walk right up through the valley. We did see a couple of other stags. We saw some young ones and some sort of less significant animals. When we got up on top, we saw where some of the hinds were. They were actually just heading to cover, and we saw that stag. He was on the skyline and he was roaring, which meant he was still in love. He was still chasing those hot hinds in that group. So we decided right then and there that we would come back that evening. We were going to come back. We were going to set up on top where we'd be safe. We knew the wind was supposed to pick up and come from the north. We would be safe up there. He certainly wouldn't smell us. We needed to find a little bit of cover, and we would set up and we would wait for those hinds to come on out and drag that big stag out of the bush. Well, it was fairly breezy up there, but we were in position, set up and waiting. Only after a couple of hours of waiting, a few hinds and a young stag appeared. We now had some live decoys. Well, what happened next took us completely by surprise. Out of the woodwork came that stag, and I mean literally out of the woodwork. He even had some of the woodwork stuck in his antlers. Now this stag was running straight towards us. He was coming down to sort out a couple of young stags that had appeared right below us. It was all going to happen, and it was going to happen fast. The stag disappeared under the hill right beneath us. We needed to see that stag again. What we got moments later was a fresh hot hind. She dragged him right back out into the open. While Rudolph had done it under all sorts of pressure, he would remain cool and take in the perfect shot. What a beauty stag. This is what 500 inches of antler looks like.
Okay, it was really very exciting. I appreciate the professional approach and I will never forget it. Thank you, BJ. Ďakujem, bol to úžasný zážitok, profesionálny prístup v podmienkach, ktoré som doteraz nepoznal. Milujem Nový Zéland, milujem tie zážitky. Ďakujem, BJ.
Great, thank you.